You pull out your smartphone, and mid-swipe, the screen freezes. A moment later, it goes entirely black. If that happened to every device on Earth simultaneously, the cause wouldn't be a software bug. It would trace back to an island roughly the size of Maryland. Taiwan manufactures 90% of the world's most advanced semiconductors. Those microscopic chips are the tiny engines powering our smartphones, artificial intelligence data centers, and military defense systems. And the vast majority of them come from a single physical company, the Taiwan Semiconductor Manufacturing Company, or TSMC. We like to imagine the modern digital economy as a decentralized cloud, floating safely above the physical world. In reality, it is a fragile supply chain. The entire ecosystem relies entirely on this one specific island avoiding a catastrophe. Taiwan's government understands this vulnerability, and they've weaponized it into a defense strategy known as the Silicon Shield. The logic is straightforward. Make your domestic semiconductor industry so vital to the global economy that an invasion would guarantee economic self-destruction for the attacker. The world's largest tech companies rely completely on this shield. Take NVIDIA, the company driving the current artificial intelligence boom. Their advanced graphics processing units, or GPUs, specialized electronic circuits designed to rapidly manipulate memory to accelerate the creation of images and AI processing. These vital components are entirely manufactured by TSMC. On the other side of the geopolitical divide, China is locked into this exact same dependence. Chinese factories need a constant, uninterrupted flow of Taiwanese chips to feed their world-leading consumer electronics manufacturing sector. This mutual reliance was designed to keep the peace. By making a war too economically catastrophic to fight, Taiwan hoped to secure its autonomy. Instead, that same market dominance now creates an incentive for military coercion, making the island a primary global flashpoint. If political pressure snaps and military forces move on Taiwan, the resulting hardware shortage immediately halts digital life across the globe. Financial models and military wargames have mapped out what a contingency might look like. Picture the year 2026. This scenario doesn't require a kinetic bombing campaign or an amphibious assault. All it takes is a bloodless military quarantine, a naval blockade that seals off the island from international waters. Within just 48 hours of commercial ports shutting down, the physical export of all advanced microchips completely stops. Thousands of shipping containers, packed with the silicon brains of tomorrow's devices, sit frozen on the docks in Taipei. The downstream effect hits the island's interior almost instantly. Denied fuel imports and unable to ship products out, large-scale factory production abruptly halts. Taiwan's aggregate chip output drops to zero, and the global supply of advanced technology vanishes overnight. The paralysis immediately spreads to general global trade. In the United States, Apple faces an immediate supply chain cardiac arrest. The company occupies roughly 90% of TSMC's 3-nanometer production capacity to build its iPhone processors. If those fabs go offline, Apple has no hardware to sell. The massive billion-dollar data centers required to run cloud providers and train complex AI systems face immediate hardware freezes. With NVIDIA's GPU shipments evaporating, the infrastructure expansion of the entire tech sector hits a concrete wall. You can't just move this manufacturing to a backup factory. TSMC prints these circuits using extreme ultraviolet, or EUV, lithography. EUV lithography is a highly specialized manufacturing process that uses light with extremely short wavelengths to print microscopic patterns onto silicon wafers. These machines are massive, highly sensitive, and simply cannot be replicated on short notice. Programs like the US CHIPS Act aim to build alternative fabrication plants in the United States and Europe. But outfitting sufficient fabrication capacity takes anywhere from 2 to 5 years, requiring billions of dollars in capital and a highly specialized labor force that doesn't currently exist in the West. Silicon Valley has no viable short-term backup plan. The valuation of the world's most powerful companies suddenly rests entirely on resuming exports from a blockaded island. Watch what happens to global GDP at the 2026 mark. A blockade contracts the economy by 5%. A full conflict plunges it by 10.2%. Expanding the timeline, this $10 trillion evaporation far exceeds the damage from the 2008 housing crisis and the COVID-19 pandemic. Global financial markets would react violently to the sudden scarcity of silicon. The AI-led stock market rally that pushed the S&P 500 to record highs would collapse, as future earnings estimates are aggressively revised downward. The contagion quickly spreads from software valuations to heavy physical industry. Without the steady flow of trailing-edge chips, the older semiconductors required for basic electronic functions, automotive assembly lines grind to a complete halt. This translates to a human cost. Semiconductor companies pause hiring. Unemployment and tech economies spikes sharply, as businesses are forced to shut. The economic fallout of a blockade triggers the fastest global depression in modern history, far outweighing the local dispute over autonomy. Economies are flexible, and over a period of years, alternative manufacturing arrangements would eventually be made. But the initial shock permanently weakens Taiwan's competitive position. Facing prolonged conflict, the island's top engineering talent would flee to safer jurisdictions, triggering an irreversible brain drain. Despite warnings from intelligence agencies and supply chain experts, financial markets have largely ignored this risk. The global economy continues to operate on the silent assumption that the single point of failure will simply hold indefinitely. If it doesn't hold, the consequence is a forced regression. Without hardware to replace servers or maintain telecommunications, the world's digital infrastructure begins to starve. The Silicon Shield successfully protected Taiwan by tying its fate directly to the global economy, but in doing so, it tethered the survival of modern industry to a single island. If that core is ever breached, the digital age falls with it.